Morning, folks. Welcome to the Joey Show. I'm Joey Avery. Boy, do we have a special, exciting, exhilarating program for you today. This is the Are We Going to World War III or Not special. Okay, I've been seeing a lot of shit online, a lot of speculation, a lot of, oh, we're going to war, Trump bombed Iran, it's all over, and then now all of a sudden it stopped? Did it stop? But now the ceasefires, there's a lot of confusing things going on. We are here to hold your hand and help you figure it all out. Now, today is also a special episode because for the first time in Joey's show solo pod history, I'm actually not alone. We have a producer here, Matt Chrzanowski.
Clap it up for Matt Chrzanowski, everybody. Clap it up for him.
That's right. We have my little blood boy in the building today. Matt has been behind the clipping for the show, kind of a shadow entity. He's the Mossad of the program, is what we're calling it, and we're excited because there's a lot going on in the news, and I feel like we might need some research to get through all of it. So, starting off with where we are with everything, Donald Trump obviously decided to, since our last episode, he decided to use B-52 bombers to bomb Iran, setting up a split in the MAGA movement. You have the Tucker Carlsons of the world fighting against the Ted Cruzes of the world, and it all kind of spilled out into the open. Trump decides to bomb Iran. People are worried this is going to turn into a broader conflict. And then now Trump is saying there's a ceasefire, but then he addressed the current state of the ceasefire the other day by saying this.
They violated it, but Israel violated it too.
Are you questioning if Israel is committed?
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I'd never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
There it is. The first presidential F-bomb that I have seen on the White House lawn, and I found that insanely relatable.
It was very inspiring.
Yeah.
It felt good as a country to get it out.
I agree with that. It felt like a cathartic moment. Like my wife, who, cards on the table, hates the man, and understandably so. You watch that as much as you could, as much as you hate him, you watch that and you go, well, now we're on the same page, dude.
He's trying.
He's trying. He's trying. And it's interesting that he just learned that. I think he was a little more surprised by that than I would have liked. But it was with the right energy. I saw a tweet that said, that's the most, love him or hate him, but that's the most dad who's over your shit response of all time.
Yeah, just quit fighting in the back of the car.
Yeah, I think so. So that's our advice here at the show. We've been as anti-war as we can be here. We don't like the fact that innocent people get caught up in this. Lives are ruined. We don't want the destabilization of a country of 90 million people, and we need them to cut it out. I need them to cut it the fuck out. This generation can't do war. Okay? Every time some nuclear saber rattling happens, the entire internet transforms into a tranche of memes, and basically everyone on the planet being like, damn, I knew it, we get Dub 3 before GTA 6. Enough with the GTA 6 jokes. We know it's taking a long time. We'd all love to play the game where we can get out our base criminal desires, okay? But we need to stop using that as a proxy for World War III. Every time something happens, everyone freaks out and they're like, it's going to be World War III. It's going to be World War III. You know what? Is it? Is it? I don't know if it will, because I do think, and I believe this strongly, that countries respond to incentives. everyone is incentivized to do certain things. I don't know if the military, even the military industrial complex that certainly runs a portion of our country, that certainly saber rattles, that definitely wanted to show off their B-52 bombers, I don't know if they're looking at our current population and saying, yeah, they're ready for a draft. I don't know if they're ready for that. Can you find this clip, because I haven't found it. There's a video of in Thailand, they do a draft, and you pull either a black card or a red card, and it sends you to war. And there's a video of a very swishy, if we will, I would say more lady than boy, getting drafted, and it's quite something to watch.
I have it right here.
You have the video right here. Okay.
Send
that over to me. Just text it to me, and I'll play it and sort it. Okay, so here's what is happening in Thailand, and I think that this could be us too, and that's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay. But we, as a country, have not been homophobic enough to beat a homophobic country in a war potentially.
This is when it really will blow back on us that we've been pushing trans men out of or trans women out of women's sports. You know.
Yeah, we need them. We need them locked in.
Exactly.
We need them battle tested.
Exactly. They're gonna have confidence if they're running up scores on these girls. They're gonna be ready to rock and roll for the military if we have them playing women's sports.
It's a very good point. That we need to battle test everybody at whatever level they want to. If you can't dunk on a broad, how are you gonna bomb a country? Here's what's going on over in Thailand. Here it is. Look at this. Hey. Ooh. Dips a dainty hand into the jar. I believe this, whatever this, I suppose gentleman who's getting drafted, but whatever it wants to identify as, I do believe that they get selected for war. They go crazy. And he kind of pumped like, hey, I guess I'm going to war. And a full bow and a twirl. This is a popular student right there. But I don't know where that leaves us in terms of war. I mean, I'm even thinking about the anti-war movement these days. During Vietnam, we had Creedence Clearwater Revival. We had some, it ain't me, I ain't no fortune, it's hard. Like, are we gonna, what is our, is Marshmello gonna be doing resistance beats? Is that the sort of stuff that we can expect from, I can't imagine a full-scale mobilization during the digital age in this country. Will Marshmello finally take off the helmet in protest of us going to war in Iran? Is Marshmello the hero? Not all heroes wear capes. Some of them wear fake snacks as a helmet. I think that's a real thing. I think that's where we are. And I don't know. It seems to me that the temperature has more or less cooled off. Trump is doing what Trump likes to do, which is claiming victory. Now, if this victory holds, I think that would be fantastic. I don't happen to be a supporter, but I support good policy for the country. I didn't really think bombing Iran was great, but if he gets away with this one and it works out and it leads to a lasting ceasefire, that would be great. The only note that I would have in considering this is that before he allowed Israel to fire on Iran, they already had a ceasefire. It's similar to how before he walked back the immigration policy of going and raiding Home Depots, they were focused on deporting criminals. That was also a thing that already existed. I'm just noticing a few of these things. Some of the trade deals that he's getting in place are similar to the ones that were there before the tariffs. So it's possible that some of these things are appearance based, although his stated success on this is that he has taken out and significantly damaged some of Iran's nuclear facilities. Now, Matt, do we have an assessment of how damaged those nuclear facilities are?
They've been set back for about 3 months.
Now, where have we gathered the 3 months?
Defense analysts and inside sources leaking to CNN. They are anonymous.
Okay. So 3 months is not kind of that's not the vibe that I was getting from it. It felt like people are celebrating this like it's a little more than 3 months, no?
I mean, I think yes, but 3 months is a good time. You can, lose a couple pounds, get ready for the summer. You can do a lot in 3 months.
That is true. Your summer bod is roughly only 3 months away, especially if you do Ozempic and take my Fit tea. Could you do one more thing? Can we buy, because one of the main things was we wanted to get rid of the uranium, right? Mm-hmm. The enriched uranium. And as I understood it, there were satellite images of a bunch of trucks going to the Fordo nuclear site in advance of the bombing that we somewhat telegraphed, and they removed the uranium. So they may still have their uranium. They may have other sites. And people are noting they might be a little bit more incentivized to get a bomb. I don't, vibes wise, I don't want them to have a bomb. But if I put myself in the Ayatollah's slippers, I imagine they wear slippers is what you would.
Yeah, sandals maybe.
Sandals. Mm-hmm. They fly on carpets. Okay, we don't need to do racism this early in the podcast, but the slippers. If I were to put myself in the Ayatollah's clogs, I would probably go, oh, this definitely means we need to sprint for a bomb. And if we're not in some sort of agreement with the U.S. that negates that, which is something that technically I believe we did have in place. So we'll see how it plays out. Let's hope it was a win for us. Now, I just have a question. Can we buy uranium for the pod?
Let's see how much it will run us, but I think we could use some here.
I think some uranium could, because there are enemies of the show. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of them, but there are enemies of the program, and we need to be safe as well. I feel like I don't even need to enrich it. I feel like we should just have like the way that white girls who talk loudly in your ear at bars scream at you about crystals. I feel like we could just have a little bit of uranium somewhere in the studio. And would that give me testicular cancer would be my other thing for you to Google.
So it's about $100 per SWU, which stands for Separative Work Unit.
Separative Work Unit, dude.
Yeah.
That's what they called me in high school.
It's
a
measure of enrichment services.
Okay. So how much did you say?
$100 per separative work unit.
Okay, that's fucking reasonable, dude. The Amazonification of everything. There may be a point in time where you can just buy uranium on Amazon. We're getting there. We're getting close. Because maybe everyone should have a bomb. It's like the gun theory of politics. Like, what stops a bad guy with a nuclear bomb except for a good guy with a nuclear bomb? Mm-hmm. So, okay. Now, if we were to get uranium for the pod, would that give me cancer, or do you think that I could just buy a little bit and keep it in my house?
Let me look really quick. I'll get back to you in a couple
you look at that. While we do that, I want to say one person who has kind of been shining this week is Tucker Carlson. Now, Tucker Carlson, if you're unfamiliar, has used to have a show on Fox. He now has his own podcast, the Tucker Carlson podcast, I believe. And he is a right-wing figure that has been hated by the left forever, but he is also a anti-war voice, I guess you could say isolationist, although I believe he takes issue with that claim. But because this is a large, momentous political event, we're seeing a reshift of the political landscape. And the only reason I bring that up here is it's led to some fantastic moments. Now, never, never fall victim to the enemy of the enemy is my friend sort of thing. You may not agree with him on certain things. That's fine. We are here because Tucker Carlson has been engaging in what I would call the petty Olympics and doing a very good job of it. Here he is with Emily. I don't know her last name. But she has a new show, and he's talking about Mark Levin, who's now on Fox News and is a pro-war voice. And this is what Tucker had to say about Mr. Levin.
Those people should not have any access to power at all. Those people rolled the dice with your life and with the lives of your children. It's disgusting. And so, I mean, just ask yourself, is Mark Levin concerned at all about the United States, like at all? And the answer is no. Mark Levin is a repulsive ghoul whose entire sex life consists of watching other people get blown up.
Okay.
He was upset that there was a ceasefire and said so. How could you be upset with a ceasefire? How could you be upset that people are no longer dying?
Dude, what? That is awesome. Alleging that someone's entire sex life involves watching other people get blown up fucking rules, dude. And that's the type of infighting that, at first when Trump came in, it was like, this is base. This is ruining the country because we're not being civilized. He's dropping F-bombs on the White House lawn. Tucker's claiming that Mark Levin is jerking off to other people dying. And that is maybe where we should be. I think that maybe is where we should be. Like, if you're not alleging that your political enemy has disgusting, sick, bizarre, twisted fetishes just because they disagree with you, then what are we even doing here? We're talking about war. We're talking about war. Civilians are getting hurt. If you can't make fun of this guy for being a creep, Mark Levin, let's put up a photo of Mark Levin right now and tell me, just tell me that guy's not a fucking creep. You can't tell me that guy's not a creep. His head looks like a testicle. His hair is in all the wrong places. His eyes, nose, and mouth are too close together. He looks like a police sketch of a police sketch. The guy is a fucking creep, and he definitely does weird things with his penis, and Tucker outed that. I looked online to find out if there are stories about that. There are actually no stories online that I could find about him having a weird sex life, which means it's true and it's weirder than we thought. It's true and it's weirder than we thought. This guy is an absolute creep, dude. If you saw this guy walking down the street, would you cross the street?
Of course.
Yeah.
Have you seen his professional headshots? He's doing a very creepy look.
He is doing a very creepy. He looks like he smells like a hard-boiled egg. You know what I mean? Like that smell, like when you get a hard-boiled egg that comes in a bag. Now this is, when I worked in corporate America, okay, a lot of the companies would have snack rooms, break rooms, and a lot of these are filled with processed crap. And so you're trying to avoid that. I can't be made of 49% fucking Frito-Lay and hate my job and hate what I'm doing all day and be pumped full of caffeine and still be mentally okay. I was barely mentally okay. Fact check, I wasn't. So I would try to have the eggs because they would do every once in a while. They'd be like, oh, let's get some healthy, non-processed, normal food snack. But the problem is when you do a hard-boiled egg in an office environment, it comes in a bag. Okay, it comes in a bag. It's deshelled. It's usually a 2-bag. It's a little scrotum. It's like a ball sack, and it's full of a moisture that can only be described as egg sweat. And it's disgusting. It's not okay. It's vile. And the people who would look at me with disgust as I drained the bag of egg sweat so that I could enjoy a minutely healthy protein-filled snack. The people who looked at me with disgust were correct. But these fucking lunatics were eating candy for breakfast. I'll have the fucking egg sweat. He looks like he smells like that. Egg sweat is what he looks like. And these are the people that we're listening to. And these are the voices that we listen to on foreign policy. This guy's probably never even smoked a hookah. What does he know about Iran? Nothing. What does he know about having an 18th birthday and going to rip fucking hookie with the boys because you can't actually drink yet, pounding a beer in the car, going in, smoking hookah, being like, yeah, I'm free, realizing that smoking that much tobacco makes you feel like shit, lying on a Persian couch, feeling like you need to shit your pants and puke at the same time, smoking hookah. We understand Iran. We're worried about the people of Iran. Do I like the Ayatollah? No. Do I put myself in his clogs? Yes. Do I want everyone to be safe? Do I hope everyone's kids have a good time? Yes. I want everyone to have fun out there. Okay? And I think, and this is my slight policy position, I hope it worked. I hope it worked. Maybe a quick show of strength. I hope it worked. Feels like we're not leading from the front. Because when I see Trump saying, hey, Israel needs to cut it out, I say, hey, asshat, you have the leverage. Okay? You tell them to cut it out. I don't understand why we're pretending like we don't tell them what to do. Yeah, he's an asshat, but they have a tiny hat, a smaller hat. You're wearing the bigger hat. Okay? Wear the bigger hat and wear the fucking pants and decide what we want to do. If this is what we wanted to do, fine. Does it feel like it? No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. That's not all Tucker Carlson has been up to. Tucker talked to Matt Walsh, another person who I'm quite convinced has a weird sex life. And he actually, I think this segues quite interestingly into this clip where Matt Walsh was talking about his perhaps concept of America First. A man who is made of 90% hair. And he's one of these guys that doesn't actually make good points, but he speaks in such a way that it feels like it. And that's his entire career. And here is him talking to someone who is not a confused freshman in college and watching how that goes for him.
I think that if you can't defend yourself as a nation, or if you can't survive without being propped up by another government, say ours, then you shouldn't exist as a country.
Wait. If you can't exist without being propped up by another government, say ours, you shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
Israel cannot exist without being propped up by the United States.
You think so?
Its nuclear program came from the United States. Its weapons come from the United States. Its economy is supported by the United States. I'm not attacking Israel. I'm just saying, in point of fact, I think that's true. I mean, Israel thinks it's true, or they wouldn't have armies of lobbyists and influencers in the United States. Bibi wouldn't have shown up twice in the past 3 months.
You think so is crazy. What was that? You think so? Dude, that's when you saw that clip, what was your first thought?
I'm immediately laughing at you think so. What universe does he live in where Israel is not supported by the U.S.?
Yeah, I think Tucker's making a good point. Like, I'm not bringing it up to say that we shouldn't support them. I'm just saying that how the fuck can you think that and not know that that is the next thing that someone's going to say? This is what drives me crazy. This man is an expert in politics. This show is supposed to be about cum. Okay? I'm doing politics because it's what's for dinner. I'm not I'm wearing a Coachella tank top and a fucking military bucket hat thematically. This show is not about politics. We just have to discuss it because I'm losing my mind, I feel like. I will find my way to come, I assure you.
You always find your way.
Like
we know
trouble.
one thing about you.
Yeah, dude. Come on. Okay, here's one more. Well, here's actually another great accidental tee-up. I'm honestly one of the best in the game. Another Tucker Carlson clip here from the Matt Walsh episode, and an interesting thought.
Have you noticed that like a huge percentage of war-crazed Republican senators are secretly gay? What is that?
Are they?
Yeah. Like, what is that?
Which are the ones that are secretly gay?
I don't know. The ones who are secret about it. I don't really know if you want people with like truly unsettled, dark personal lives with power. Do you?
No.
That clip is solid fucking gold.
He makes a good point. We need to support these closet homosexuals and members of the LGBT community during Pride Month, or else they will destroy Gaza.
I agree.
That's the fear.
I think that is important. Is people need to like express themselves.
100%.
You know, and like not like. Although I think that a closeted gay war, the right side of that clip, if you're just listening, whoever put that on Twitter, just put Lindsey Graham's face. And you live in DC. You have some Beltway insider. Do you have some? I'm out of the loop. I just, the way he talks and he's, single and whatever. But do you have any proof that Lindsey Graham's gay?
This is pretty well known within DC circles. So his name among DC prostitutes, male prostitutes, is Lady G. And he regularly hires male prostitutes in DC. Now that is something that's just not my Beltway knowledge. You can Google that.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's
I love full Southern with the lady.
Why can't he just be himself? Is it the party? I guess he's, South Carolina and he can't. It's just like, look, if this guy's going to get his back blown out, but, why does he have to pay professionals? Why can't he find a lover, a long-term lover who wants to be with him and accepts him for who he is?
I think Trump would like him more if he fully came out, and as long as you have that, you can be good. I think Caitlyn
Wouldn't that
Jenner.
be great? Yeah, wouldn't that be helpful if Lindsey Graham was like, I'm gay and I support Trump? Maybe I like getting my bunker busted, dude. Like, there's nothing wrong with getting a little mop in your bunker, dude.
That's what it's all about. The Caitlyn Jenner, I think, I don't think we're far at all from just an openly gay Republican being a senator.
Well, we tried, right? What's his face? Who went to jail?
Herschel Walker's son? Is that it?
No. Did Herschel Walker's son go to jail?
No, he's just a gay
guy,
Republican.
dude. The guy he's really gay.
Oh, Santos.
Yeah. Santos. He was a Republican, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was queen.
Not openly gay. I do have
Not openly gay.
I don't believe he's openly.
Santos?
But he clearly hints at it a lot.
Santos gay. Look that up. Are you telling me he's not openly gay? Wow. Okay. Well.
Oh, he is openly gay.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna
Okay.
say. I
That's
mean,
on
he
me.
is. Yeah. My God. I mean, because he is gay as a Thai military member. If you know what I'm saying. If you know what I'm saying. I don't know. Just a lot of sexual tension. I think people need to get it out. I think Trump ends up like, after he smacks someone, it's very much like I think I talked about this with Gavin. I think it's very much the UFC fighter principle with him, where he like, after he gets dirty with someone, it feels like he kind of like respects them. I feel like Trump could low-key end up having a decent relationship with Iran. Even the way he's been tweeting at them, like he thanked them for their weak missiles that they sent to Qatar and thanked them for telling us so that no one would get hurt. I feel like there's like a sexual tension brewing that I feel like could. Am I crazy? Do you see some sort of Iran détente with Trump?
I think that's why he fucks with Putin so hard.
Correct.
There's that interview where the press is kind of ribbing him about Putin, and he's like, everyone lies. You don't know what we've been through.
100%.
He says
dude.
you don't know what we've been through about him and Putin.
It's like the boys after like a long boys weekend, dude. You're just like, we're fucking closer now.
Dude, it's after, you go back to your hometown bar first Thanksgiving during college. You're under the captain of the rival team, and you're like, dude, what's up? How's it going down at State? And you guys are boys all of a sudden. You spend the whole night drinking together.
You're fucking back, dude. You're absolutely back. I think I could see it happening. Look, I just hope everyone's kids have fun. I hope everyone's safe out there. I'm glad. It seems like we're not. Now, the main concern, I think, and the fair concern amongst people who were very concerned after we bombed Iran was that Trump ran as an anti-war president, and Americans rightfully do not have an appetite for some sort of regime change amongst a country of 90 million people. Our history with meddling in the Middle East has not been ideal, I guess, is what I'd say. And so people didn't want a regime change. Trump hinted at it, but then is saying, no, it would need to be organic, all sorts of things. It looks for now like he's not going to get involved in what a lot of people's worst case scenario is. Although, to be honest, we're still in a very precarious situation and it could get dirty. Let's hope it doesn't. Now, my thought is we should not involve ourselves in regime change. However, if we're going to, I feel like we should just embrace it. Like, I feel like we should just do it in different places. Like, it's always the Middle East. Like, why don't we regime change Guatemala?
Beautiful beaches.
Beautiful beaches. Let's look at, so let's see who the ruler, who rules Guatemala. His Excellency Bernardo.
His Excellency?
His Excellency.
His Excellency.
That's already someone who's fucking begging for it, dude.
Yeah.
We don't, in America, nobody is excellent to us. If you're a His Excellency, you're on the fucking hot seat with us. Again, I don't support regime change, but if we're gonna do it, go all the way and let's do some fun ones, dude. Let's do some Bernardo Arevalo. Your days are numbered. I'm gonna call it out right now. Cesar Bernardo Arevalo de Leon, born October 7th. Right there. Literally anti-Israel. Right there. Already you're fucked, dude. You can't be supporting October 7th like that. That's the first line of his Wikipedia.
He celebrates it every year.
It's
disgusting.
Every year, and it's disgusting, dude.
It's repulsive.
Fuck you, Bernardo. Okay, he's a Guatemalan diplomat, sociologist. Okay, thought it said socialist. That would have been too. A member and co-founder of the Semilia Party. Arevalo was born in Montevideo, Uruguay. The man is not even from Guatemala. Okay, this is literally I just pulled a country out of my ass, and I'm telling you how illegitimate this fucking guy is. He's not even from Guatemala. He returned as a result of the 2015 protests. Blah blah blah. He surprisingly qualified for a second round during the election, triggering accusations of electoral fraud and a judicial investigation into his party and its members. Okay, threatening the election results. Okay, so he is illegitimate all the fucking sudden. It's crazy. It looks like where is this? Okay, yeah. The Organization of American States stepped in to support and facilitate. I think we're late.
We're already damn.
We're late. we already did this one. I didn't realize we had. Let's look at.
It can't hurt to circle back, though.
It can't hurt to circle back. We should
double up.
We should check our work. The Organization of American States is an international organization founded on the 30th of April, 1948.
I didn't know we had a list of these that we were just keeping for everyone.
Dude, this to provide. Okay, headquartered in Washington, D.C.
Let's take a visit.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we did Guatemala. My bad. We did Guatemala. But I don't even think I want to play this game because I feel like maybe we've been everywhere, dude. Okay, my one last piece of stuff on Iran, and then I have some fun stuff for the back half of the program. Bezos is getting married, which is exciting.
Really? To the lady with the huge tits?
The lady with the huge tits and kind of a large face, I'm not going to lie. We'll get into that in the back half of the show. But first, I just closing off Iran here. Diddy's lawyers agree to not bring up Iran in closing argument. And I think that's big of them. I think it's good. We can only have so many underground layers getting blown up. I guess ultimately their argument was going to be that like whoever's investigating them, the Department of Homeland Anal Security, basically was wasting their resources when Iran's popping off, and it's like, what, you trying to come at Diddy? And the judge basically was like, don't do this. Don't do that. And the headline is nice to me. Diddy's lawyers agree to not bring up Iran. See, that's the type of working together that I've liked to see recently. Iran and Israel working together. Diddy's lawyers agreeing with the judge to not use Iran to get off their potential sex criminal, unless, of course, this is some sort of Mossad op that I'm not aware of.
Yeah, they were lying about his usage of baby oil.
Yes.
Much like we lied about Iraq's usage of WMDs.
That's right. Yeah, it was basically a classic WMD scenario. Actually, one last thing. Have you seen who Trump appointed to this like high-ranking position in counterterrorism?
I've seen it's a 22-year-old guy who has one of the most punchable faces I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah. Let's take a peek at this gentleman because it's important to break this guy down. If you're not watching, and I'll put a photo up on the screen right now.
Thomas Fugate.
Fugate. He looks like his name is Thomas Fugate, though, dude.
Yeah.
He's got the Trump. I don't know what it is with Republicans and hair gel. And Gavin Newsom, of course, is not a Republican, but kind of falls into this. This dude just objectively has too much hair, and he spends a lot of time trying to coif it like his king daddy, Trump. But this guy looks like he looks like he wasn't able to commit, trigger warning, a date rape, because he wasn't even allowed into the party because guys who were going to commit that crime were like, no, this guy's too suspicious. He's got a horrible looking face, a stupid eye. Now the eyebrow thing, kind of fun, might as well. Just looks ridiculous, and he has his only, I guess, whoever was in the post before resigned after 2 or 3 decades of service because they weren't getting enough resources in counterterrorism. And so Trump appointed this guy who has no background in it, but he is a former grocery store clerk in Gardner, which marks the first nice thing Trump has done for anyone in the landscaping industry this term. So anyway, let's get into some tour dates. Coming out and see me on tour, joeyavery.com/live. Phoenix, Arizona this weekend, St. Petersburg, aka Tampa in July, then into fall, Springfield, Massachusetts, Washington, D.C., Point Pleasant Beach, New Jersey, Levittown, New York, Charlotte, North Carolina, San Diego, California, Beverly, Massachusetts, Batavia, Illinois, just got announced, and then San Jose.
I do have a Fugate note. Thomas Fugate.
Throw it in.
How can you stop terrorists if you weren't even alive for 9/11?
That's a good point, dude. He doesn't feel it in his bones. Did you watch the America Manhunt Bin Laden documentary?
No, but I did see the clip where they call Osama bin Laden the pacer.
Dude, the pacer is... wait, is that why the Taliban started?
No, but it was just perfect serendipity.
Dude, Tyrese Halliburton becoming the Taliban, no one on TV being able to say it, and then them calling bin Laden the pacer. I didn't even make that connection. That's beautiful. And Halliburton went down like Tower 7. That was tough to see.
It was tough. It was awful.
We don't do a lot of sports talk on this program, but I think briefly, as a man who's popped an Achilles myself, there's a lot of conversation around what is going on with Achilles blowing out in the NBA. You obviously had Dame Lillard. You had, I think, James Wiseman, who's young. You had
Jason Tatum,
the big one, and then and then Halliburton altering the course of Game 7. And no one really knows exactly what it is. It does jive with what I was saying on stage when I tore my Achilles, and everyone laughed at me. Because everyone's like, oh, you're old, you're out of shape. I was like, I genuinely think that I'm too explosive. Like, I think that I was too athletic and, shuck and jive, all the raw athleticism, the twitchiness, the ability to move on the pickleball court. And it's just that the bones and tendons were meant for primitive man. And when you're built like a brick shithouse, when you're taking creatine powder raw to the mouth like a fucking demon, when you take supplements that don't work, you become a guy. And I don't think people were really ready to handle that. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, I think there was an argument when J.J. Watt kept getting hurt that the reason he kept getting hurt was because he was too powerful.
Yeah.
That doctors were literally like, the human body isn't built for this much torque. in this much raw power. So I think you are right. You were too powerful. You're too explosive.
Well, and it's exactly what happens to America. Like they hate us because they ain't us. You know.
Yeah.
The reason
the world wasn't built for this much power.
The world wasn't built for this much power, and people, they don't like that. You know, we bombed their countries, and so then they lash out.
Yeah, I'd be pissed if there was a guy who could just hover at 85,000 feet and blast through my window at any time he wanted.
It's unfortunate, dude. It's unfortunate that we patrol the skies like fucking Yao Ming in his prime. And I think that people don't really know what to do with that, and that's why they try to get their own rockets.
They started doing Hack-a-Shack.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that's basically, that is literally
they
what
changed the rules.
Terrorism is sending Shaq to the foul line. And the problem is we, much like Shaq, we don't know how to fucking handle it.
Guerrilla warfare is our free throws.
100%, 100%. So that's why we bring up sports, because sports and politics really are, you know, they're synonymous.
Yeah.
They're similar things. Now, I'm gonna actually. Yeah, no, let's go right into it. I was going to say I'm going to fill up my water for half too, but we're cooking right now. I don't really want to fuck with the vibes. I want to talk about supplements that don't work, because there is a man, a king, a monarch, known as the Liver King, who's having an all-time crash out. He was recently arrested in Austin, Texas, because he wants to fight Joe Rogan in some form of fight to the death. Now, I'm conflicted about covering this because it's a clear manic episode, but it's also one that is supported. Like, his family is with him. No one questions. He's literally a king, and he's gone mad. He's the Mad King, and here's him threatening Joe Rogan. He starts off this video here crawling, which is he's primitive. He's being primitive, and we
ancestral.
He's being ancestral.
He's being in touch with his ancestors.
That's right.
Support anything and everything. Because Joe Rogan, we don't have to make videos to pretend anymore.
Well,
all of this is happening. We're coming to you. I've challenged you man to man.
His mouth is
to
blue.
A fight.
We don't know.
Honorable.
Why?
And we don't have to pretend or make any videos. The world is watching. They'll make the videos for us. And you don't have to hold a camera. You can hold the hand of somebody that you love, because what happens next to you, you're going to need to remember that feeling. You're going to need something more than what you did to give you something to fight for, because I have my family to fight for. And I'll die for them, you know that. And you're a black belt, but you've never come across something like this. Willing to die, hoping that you'll choke me out. I pray to God, because that's a dream come true. It feels good. And then the limbs.
It feels good.
I'm fighting for my family.
It's not kink shame.
So limb. Go ahead. But then you have to contend with something else. And I weigh 177 pounds. An actual savage. And so at first you're like, fuck that guy. And right? When you all of a sudden he did get your attention, which I already did before this, you're saying, I'm going to choke that motherfucker, that piece of fucking shit. I'm going to choke him out.
All right, that's enough of this. It's sad. He went to Austin. He's speaking in kind of riddles, and there is a magical. There's kind of like a white boy magic going on with him, where it looks like he's like tapped into something. It looks like he just got back from Hogwarts, like in some way. But it's kind of a Hogwarts of the mind. Like, I think he went through platform 9 3/4 of the internet, and he's conducting. He's doing Wingardium Leviosa. Like, he's whipping up potions. He's clearly been drinking some sort of potion. That's why the mouth is blue, and he believes everything is a life and death fight. Everyone goes to this. People during the manic episode, they start speaking very cinematically. They kind of go into this like Joseph Campbell, like hero's journey space, where it's like, it's for me, this is the final showdown. It's for my family. And really it's just a guy crashing out with a blue mouth. And it's unfortunate. I hate to see it, but I've always also hated him. Now, I don't pray on anyone's downfall, but I know firsthand, people who've met him, that he smells like shit. That's immediately a problem. Now, anyone who's focused on ancestral living is going to smell like shit. And this is one of the problems that I have with modern society is this like form of science where people have been like, hey, deodorant is like bad for your lymph nodes or something. It has aluminum in it. Can you look up if any of this is true? And it fucks up your shit. And I'm like, that may be 100% true. But if you're going to wander around smelling like a piece of shit, like this man has turned his body into beef jerky, I can't like you. I can't. It's so hard, okay? That's really not even the main problem. This man's lost his mind and he's threatening to attack Joe Rogan and he just got arrested by the police. And he's doing it for his family, dude. Everyone's doing it for their fucking family. I don't care about your family. You're being weird, and you're not, dude. You're doing it for yourself. If you cared about your family, you'd be off social media. But the problem is this guy, in addition to being addicted to steroids, in addition to being addicted to working out, which, yes, you can be. It's called body dysmorphia, and it's not good for you. Eat some McDonald's and calm the fuck down. Take a shot of whiskey. Chill. A little bit. Be healthy. Take care of yourself. Yeah. Also take care of your mind by not making your entire lifestyle just be a vortex of obsessing over 1 calorie or centimeter on your waistline. That's not an ancestral tenet. Fuck face. But again, he's not doing well. I'm glad he got arrested because I hope he can get some help. The main thing is he, like so many other people who we witness crash out online, Kanye West goes through these Fousey Tube. If anyone is aware of him, I don't really have time to do Fousey right now. Do you know who Fousey is? You don't even know who Fousey is. This is where I crash out. Is I watch so many crash outs that I crash out. But he's doing better now. He's working out, and he's working out in a good way. He did music for a while. It was not good. He was wearing strange hats. They always wear strange hats. If you see someone online wearing progressively stranger headgear, don't look at my hat. They're not doing well. All right? This happens. The Liver King wears a wolf on his head. Is that good? No. That's not good. That hasn't been okay since the days of Lewis and Clark. Okay? If you're wearing a dead animal on your, it's a cry for help. It's a cry for help, and we need to help these people, and we help them by arresting them. Here's him preparing for battle with Joe Rogan. I'm just going to play a minute of this because it's fascinating. The nice thing about social media is they'll show you everything that's happening, and you can step into madness and see what it looks like and try to avoid it a little bit.
You didn't stop recording, did you?
I'm still recording, but sorry I didn't see you come out. We were making your coffee. Coffee's ready.
He's got his whole family there. His wife's there. His kids are there.
Yeah, it's going to be
He's got helpers.
What?
An espresso.
Do you need any, like,
He's preparing for war. The music.
If you don't mind, don't ask me what I need. I'll say what I need from whomever I need it to, and I'm going to also do everything that I can with the amount of time. I'll try and explain the least amount that I'm going to.
This, what's happening, has happened to me.
Correct?
12 minutes, correct.
I'm not kidding.
Ancestral tenets, you know that?
This, where he's preparing for battle and there's strange music in the background, and there's people that are afraid of
I asked
him.
another man how much time I have it. He said none, zero. What's stronger than time? Principles. That's stronger than time.
I've spoken in these riddles.
At some point, Joe Rogan, I got your attention. I think it's a legitimate fight. Bookending it with love. It's just starting. It's day one, bro. Day one. Okay, who won the first round? Okay, I guess we'll make it 12 days, okay? It'll be 12 days. Demarcation points around the clock. 12 ancestral tenets.
I want to stop the clip, but I can't.
12 minutes.
I shouldn't still be playing this, but I'm addicted to it.
Greatest state, man. A friendly state. It's called Texas. Welcome to Texas.
This feels good, because this for him is a locker room speech. He's getting hyped.
You got it.
I feel like the more you talk about love and use the word love, the crazier you are.
Yes.
That means something. I'm
running out of something.
This is Trump talking to the Ayatollah. He's like, we've done the ancient dance.
I don't want to scratch your.
Okay,
12
okay.
demarcations.
That's enough. So this, when I say this happened to me, I'm not kidding. So the first time I ever did mushrooms, I was at my parents' house and we got our hands on some. I was back from college. It's actually funny how this ties into everything. It leads us to where we are today. The first time I ever did mushrooms, we're back at my parents' house. We get our hands on a bag, and we take a lot. We take a lot, dude. And I just knew they were fun. I knew nothing about them. I knew nothing about the spiritual component. I didn't know anything about mushrooms. I just knew I was taking them. So we take them. We're watching SportsCenter. Colors start to pop. I mean, the greenest green, the reddest red, dude. And we are cruising, dude. You've never seen a SportsCenter episode like this. And I'm including SVP, who's very good at his job. It was jumping. We were watching WNBA highlights before it was cool, okay? We were locked the fuck in. Then we go out. We go out and we are outside, okay? And all of a sudden, the shrooms, the visuals that I'm getting, I haven't really even had many experiences like this since in the last decade. They're hitting so hard that the moon looks like the moon in the sky look like a Monet painting. I can literally see the ripples. I was like, oh my God, Monet loves mushrooms vibes, dude, sup. And I could see that. I look at the trees. The trees, they're wavy. They're squiggling. We start talking to plants. We see a plant we like. We're like, yeah, what's up, my boy? And then we see a plant we hate, and we're like, fuck, the plant scared me. It was down on the ground. It was like, brrr. It was mean. I didn't like it. Looked like one of the things in Pac-Man, little fucking ghost guys. We didn't like it. One of my friends was nice. We mustered up the courage. We started talking shit. We were like, you ain't got shit, my boy. We talked shit to this plant. I still see the plant. I still see the plant when I go home. It's water under the bridge. When I'm not on mushrooms, I'm fine with it. It's okay. We saw another plant we like. We liked that plant. I was seeing beautiful things, colors, things I'd never heard before, but then I got afraid. And what happens to me on mushrooms is a lot of times I'll burst through and have some sort of crazy spiritual, amazing component, and then on the back end, I'll just get like kind of confused and feel like I have dementia. Okay, so I will literally be confused and be like, I don't know. So anyway, I get it in my head, oh my God, we're being loud. We can't be out here because we got neighbors and my parents. And my friends are literally like frolicking. They're like, what? I'm like, we have to go inside. So I go inside. I try to play a song. So I'm playing like Revolution. I'm playing some white boy reggae, dude, trying to get my head right. But nothing feels right. And so then my friends come in and they're like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I don't know. And nothing feels right. So much like everyone in the Liver King's house, I was speaking in riddles. I was a mad king, dude. Everyone was trying to bring me things. They were like, here's a water. Does that feel right? I was like, I don't know. They would stack pillows in different formations and be like, does this pillow formation please the king? And I was like, I don't know. They had me sitting on a throne trying to please me. I was where he was. He's not well. Finally, I came out of it on the other end, and I was like, dude, I have some cake upstairs. I have some like a pie upstairs. And I go, I'll go bring us this fucking offering. I'll bring us this dessert. And I said, should I get the sauce? And I'll never forget it. We all kind of looked at each other and we came to a slogan that I've never forgot and I'll never forget moving forward. In life and in pie, always get the sauce. Gotta get the sauce, dude. It's beautiful. Now every morning my alarm just says sauce. So I get after it every day. So anyway, the Liver King is not well. He's gone to jail. I don't think he's going to fight Joe Rogan. I've met Joe. He doesn't strike me as the type of guy who's going to fight the Liver King in a public forum.
I don't think so, but I would like to see this because obviously all respect to our short kings. I do love how he's like, I'm a physical beast. I'm 177 pounds.
177 of raw gristle, dude.
Yeah. I mean, he is jacked, but that puts it in context how short he has to be. Also, Joe Rogan, very short guy.
Yes.
So I'd love to see those two little squirrels scrap.
To say 177... absolute savage. 177, absolute savage. Let's see if we can play that again.
Remember that feeling. You're going to need something more than what you did. to give you something to fight for.
I don't remember where it was. I really don't want to go hunting for that. 177.
It was a footnote. But.
Absolute savage. Absolute savage. I was in the mothership green room, and Brian Shaw came in.
Yeah.
Who is the former world's strongest man. Apparently, some people argue potentially the strongest man to have ever lived.
Okay.
He was very modest about that. But it was crazy. Him and Rogan talking to each other was crazy because they are both like incredibly fucking built, but completely different sizes.
Mm-hmm.
So they literally looked like two like action figures built for different sized children. Like it was literally like watching two action figures talk to each other and just be fucking huge. And like they left like shaking both their hands. I was like, I'm such a lady.
It's like how WWE, you need Undertaker, but you also need Rey Mysterio.
Yeah. Yeah. You need both. Okay, on to Jeff Bezos, who is getting married here. We'll put up a photo. Here's Jeff Bezos and his wife. You were mentioning her big tits. This is why I was noting her large face. Just so you can see, Matt. That's a grill.
Yeah.
That's an absolute grill. And there's nothing wrong with having a gigantic fucking grill on you.
Very wide.
Just an absolute unit of a
lot of area.
She looks like she's been hacking for Anonymous, dude. It looks like she's wearing a Guy Fawkes mask. And I can say that. I'm not body shaming a woman. I'm body shaming the richest woman of all time. And I think you're allowed to do that.
100%.
She's getting paid enough for me to make fun of the dinner plate that rests on top of her neck, I think.
100%.
You know, she looks like I'd send her to Easter Island, in my opinion. Honestly, dude. Like, I don't know. She could be in Where the Wild Things Are. Anyway, you don't have to be hot to get rich, folks. Okay, that's enough. Lauren Sanchez, can you look up, wasn't she cheating or something?
I haven't found cheating. She was a journalist, a licensed pilot, and the founder of Black Ops Aviation.
Is that who wrote Soul Plane? Anyway, yeah, you know, all the male billionaires are out launching rockets, and the ladies are simply defying gravity with their tits. Now, what's interesting is Jeff Bezos has altered his wedding plans after the threat of inflatable crocodiles. People in the city of Venice forced Jeff Bezos to change the celebrations for his wedding because they were going to unleash a bunch of inflatable crocodiles to fill the canals to block the celebrity guests from entering. Now, to me, that's fun. That's funny. A few things. One, where do they get the inflatable crocodiles? I would envision Amazon. So hoist on his own fucking petard out here, dude. The people used his powers against him with 2-day shipping. The other thing is, it's crazy to me that he would have his. How the fuck can you? And look, I use Amazon. In fact, I tried to order us World War III outfits that are going to arrive at 8 p.m. today. So fuck Amazon. I'm not pretending like I'm above it here, but how can you become a billionaire off of a company that has arguably done the most damage to the environment of any company ever? You know, fact check that as much as you want. They've done a lot of damage to the environment. On top of that, he's launching rockets to space, also damaging the environment. And you're going to do your wedding in fucking Venice? Like the first city to sink? Like the city that you're going to contribute to the erasure of it. Now, granted, I'm an American. I probably don't have a great carbon footprint, and I will still go to Venice. Mamma mia. But you're fucking Jeff Bezos, dude. Go do what every rich person does and get married in the center of a fucking mountain in Montana. They're all going to Idaho and Montana to hide. They have their own Fordo. They're like the Iran nuclear facility, dude. You have to use a bunker-busting bomb just to get into one of these fucking events. Venice, dude. People are not going to like that. You are the single largest threat to Venice aside from a 9-to-5 job. Am I right, lazy Italians? But it's fucking tone deaf. And it's insane. An estimated 95 private planes are reported to be landing at the city's airport. They're still doing it in Venice. And yeah, I'd go.
I'd definitely go.
I'd go, dude.
Would you go to the Michael Rubin white party if you got invited?
Yeah. I haven't been to a party that white since fraternities in college, folks. Look them up. Yeah, I would go to the white party. I mean, everything that the conspiracy theorists, they jump to this concept of like anybody who goes to a cool party is like a rapist and a pedophile, and it's like like not every it's just people who like conspiracy theorists. A lot of times are people who don't like to party at all. It's like on Saturday night, like I'm out getting fucked up, and then Monday, Tuesday, I come back to life. I do enough research to get this show out on a Thursday. The people who really have time to like uncover global cabals, they're just simply not out on Saturday night, so they don't know what it's like to get invited to a good party. If you got invited to Epstein's Island, knowing what we know now, obviously you wouldn't go. But at the time, if a rich dude from New York is like, "Do you want to go on my private jet to my private island?" I'm not asking a question.
Yeah.
Are you?
No. It is crazy, though, that the final party accoutrement, the top level you hit, is child.
Yeah, that shouldn't be where it goes. Is this just like, I feel like this is how like food works too, where it's like this is such a bad, but it's like for some reason the delicacy like has to be fucked up. People are like, "Oh, dude, you haven't had milk-fed veal." I mean, that's literally eating a child cow that they didn't even let out of a cage because they're like, it's tender, and that's like. Once you get rich, you've had like filet mignon so many times, you're like, that's not even a good cut of meat. And so then it's like, well, maybe we need that topped with like a little foie gras, or maybe we need that with like the caviar from an endangered sturgeon. Like at some point, these people's tastes, because they don't have a moral compass and because they're not connected to any sort of like deeper meaning, they just try to follow sensory input as far as it can go, and that usually leads you to whatever is the rarest and hardest to get, which usually ends up being the most fucked up, unethical thing, which I think these sick fucks end up indulging in. Is that what it is?
I think that's definitely a level of it. It's just as a party goer, a guy who likes to party, there's different tranches, I think first tranche
if I see a 16-year-old at a party, I leave.
It's crazy.
That ruins the party.
But
they're not even going to let me play Alesso. They're not going to understand the golden years of music. Like, come on.
Once you get to like a good enough party, say you get super famous, you do have to be on the lookout though.
100%.
You got to be like, all right, white party, because there's got to be. I mean, we have with Epstein and like Diddy, they were doing crazy stuff.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
That ended up being all very true.
Yes.
Yeah.
So these conspiracy theory guys, they do have like an ounce of truth, but also they. At some point, you got to understand. Sometimes people want to party in a $40 million house.
You don't throw the baby out with the baby oil. like LeBron James was. There's a clip of LeBron James being like, "Ain't no party like a Diddy party." It's like, do I think LeBron James is banging children? No, I don't. I don't think that at all. If anything, I mean, you look at how he reacts to a foul. Like he's a drama queen. He wouldn't do anything that is not. I think LeBron. I would say sexually, LeBron James is above board. Is he the GOAT? No, he's a pussy.
I'm sorry I took us here.
No, it's fine. That's what your boy says to you immediately after landing on the island. Imagine being pumped to go to an island, and it's like, this is before you know about like Clinton shit, right?
Yeah.
Like Clinton was like the guy back then. You'd be like, dude, we're gonna fucking party with Clinton.
Flown to a billionaire's private island.
And then you get to an island, and there's like young girls who don't want to be there, and you're trapped on an island. This is the worst. That would be horrible. And then ideally you'd try to escape, and that is the new Love Island. Season 4, that's a reality show, getting off the island. getting off. This is
Off
a
a
dark
little
place
St.
for the
James.
show. They're sick fucks is the problem, dude. They're sick fucks. But I bet that the thing is that wedding is going to be fun.
I think it's going to be a blast. This is a hot take. I feel like we've been saying Venice is going to be gone in 20 years for a while now.
There's a bit of a prove it to climate extremism.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's hotter than hell right now. There's obviously something going on.
It's a little
But
toasty.
Venice specifically,
I'm
a little weary on.
Yeah, Venice, they say is gonna go. Miami, they say is gonna go. Let's be honest, neither place has a lot of real culture at this point. But that's not the point. That is not the point. The people who are going there are all going there on private jets and making it worse. But like, are we like if we got invited on the PJ? I mean, yeah, gonna go. Yeah,
You're gonna go
on the PJ.
Yeah,
that's the problem. Is we don't have an ability to control, like you in your own life can control, I think, things. You can say, hey, I don't like that about me. I'm not going to do that. But humans in general are going to do shit. Like you'd have to outlaw private jets. Oh my God. Could you imagine outlawing private jets? Forcing the elites. This might be what we need to do.
This might fix society.
This might fix society. Forcing the elites to fly commercial and understand what it's fucking like to be boarding group 6 on fucking Delta, dude. Forcing the elites for their only club to be a United Lounge, and they can look at the gruel that passes as one cut above eating a shitty Jersey Mike's sandwich Mike's way at the airport. This might be the thing that fixes society. We need to make everyone fly commercial. I bet commercial flights get a lot safer. I bet these creeps start being less weird. Nothing is more humbling than needing a neck pillow to get some rest. Okay, that would equalize society. Rich people are doing weird shit. I saw this clip of Orlando Bloom. Look at this clip of Orlando Bloom. Is this man well? I know he's doing some wellness ritual. Like this is like the opposite of what Liver King's doing. I think it's a circle and they're close. This is his morning. This is his cup of coffee. This is how he wakes up. Legolas. This is how he wakes up. Imagine thinking, boy, I hit the jackpot. I get to fuck Legolas every day for the rest of my life. Fuck yeah. And then waking up to take a pee. To expel Orlando Bloom's cum, we got there in this episode, from your post. You wake up, you're so proud of yourself, you're expelling the cum, you're peeing, and you're like, fuck yeah, I did it. I fucked Orlando Bloom, and this is what you see. Fly commercial. You don't fly United and still think this is okay. You really don't. I'm not a hater on the spiritual. I know that shit helps. I've hit a from time to time. I know the sound of the universe. I've communed with it. Okay? I understand it. I'm not a fucking hater. I get it. But it's getting weird. Be a normal person. Like, just, it's that simple. Be a normal fucking person. Cut it out. Cut it out. Stop it, all right? They need to fly commercial. It would help the environment. It would help society feel more connected. They wouldn't be as disconnected from the common man. Okay? They would be with us. Everyone would just have to be a little bit more normal. I think this fixes everything.
Yeah.
You're not flying fucking United to Little St. James. You don't get to have an island. You don't get to sex traffic in coach. You don't get to do it. You can't fly around with that much baby oil. You're not doing it. Pass that through TSA. They're not going to allow it. That's a lot of liquid, pimp. They're going to stop you. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to save you from yourself. And I think that's what we need. We all need to be saved a little bit. We need to save the rich people from themselves. We need to save the gay Republican war hawks from themselves. We need to save society from itself. I think we can do it. I think this show is the first step to doing it. I think the 12 will lead the way, and I think we'll all be okay. Or, to put it simply, in terms that you may understand. Matt, will you join us here?
That felt good.
That felt really good. It felt good. Orlando's on to something. Thank you, Matt Chrzanowski, for being here. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Matt, where can people find you?
Matt_comedy on Instagram, and I think it's Matt_Chrzanowski on TikTok.
Beautiful stuff. A lot of stuff we didn't even get to today, so we'll push some of it into next week. Apparently, raps are back. 80-year-olds are going clubbing. All sorts of fun things. You'll have to stick with us for next week. This has been episode 70.
Really?
Nice round number of The Joey Show. I am Joey Avery. I'll see you next week. Good night.
Thank God I have a podcast.